Common Core State Standards, in my opinion, are a historic opportunity to make education more engaging and more assistive to kids. XBOOKS is great in that regard because it's edgy material, it's of immediate interest to kids, it's about debatable problems from the disciplines, and the material is tremendously interesting, which means it can be written on a more complex level. There's a lot to textual complexity, and there's a lot to the assistance that would help kids through it. For instance, part of text complexity is the reader. You know, what are they bringing to bear? It has to do with the lexile levels, the word and sentence level construction. It has to do with the genre of the text and how familiar the kid is with the genre. It has to do with the conceptual load. And there's a lot of things you can do to assist kids to meet these various elements of text complexity. One is to do things that are close to home to them, that are closer to their experience, because then even more complex texts become more accessible. Another thing is you provide a purpose. Every one of these texts and every strand of the XBOOKS is organized around a problem to be solved. That is a problem from the discipline of history or forensic science or medical science or whatever. So that's very assistive, because if you know the purpose, then you know what to pay attention to and how to connect details together and how to create meaning and what you're going to use it for. So it's more motivating and it's more assistive. I think it's for everybody. I have to say, I had a tremendous amount of fun reading and editing the books. They're very interesting. They connect to real-world current events. They're going to be especially helpful to kids who might struggle in any way, because it provides so much potential assistance and because the books look so not like school. Dead Men Floating just is an amazing book, and you know, the visuals are fantastic, and it leads into forensic science. And one of the wonderful things about it is the anchor video in the beginning of the book just so closely mirrors what the Common Core asks for as far as evidentiary reasoning and writing arguments. And so it's just a thing of beauty when you see how the kids are being invited in to this conversation, and to how they're going to be assisted through reading the book, and to engaging in that conversation and doing the kind of reading and writing that experts do, and as an additional payoff that's required by the Common Core. The topics of the text are easily piggybacked on curricular topics. Another thing that's even more flexible is that the questions, for example, for Dead Men Floating, is how do forensic scientists determine the truth? Well, that's a very procedural question that fits very nicely with several of the Common Core State Standards, and you can introduce that at any point in your curriculum. Well, I'm excited because I've devoted my life to helping struggling readers and learners. I taught for 13 years, and that was my project. I worked with largely with remedial readers and struggling readers. And as a researcher over the last 20 years now, I've been researching how to engage all learners, particularly disenfranchised learners or those with damaged learner identities or those who are struggling, into more expert reading. So obviously when you do research, and obviously when you're devoted to a passion, you want to do work that matters. You want to do work that pays off. You want to do work that counts, that's actually going to help people in the world. So it's always very, very exciting to work with a team of great people who are devoted to the same passion and do significant work with them and use the resources you have in that kind of community to do work that's going to have a payoff, that is going to help, in this case, kids to read more proficiently, no matter who they are.